Hey. So, topic of today is night terrors. Have you ever had night terrors? If so, how do they come out? I'm curious. I want to know what you guys think about night terrors. And this is not specifically related to dreams. Night terrors, in my experience, are interlopers between the dream state and the waking state. They're straddling those two. They've got one foot on each side. So by my definition of a night terror, it's got to start in the dream state, transition into the in-between state where I'm half awake, half asleep, and then it finishes off in the waking state. That's my night terror. It's not something like a nightmare where you're in the dream, something horrifying is happening, and either you realize you're in a dream and you wake yourself up somehow, or it becomes too horrifying for your dream mind to to handle, and you wake up, you pop out of it. That's a nightmare. That's not night terrors, not by my definition. When I was younger, yeah, I've had them even as a child, even before I ever ingested any questionable substance. As a child, I would have more nightmares than night terrors, although they would transition sometimes. I would wake up not knowing where I was, or I would be like fumbling around the closet thinking it's the restroom, or I would be so disoriented to my room that my conscious mind, my analytical mind, wouldn't comprehend where I was, and I would just freak out. I also had a few other strange dreams as a child. One of them, it's very difficult to explain. I haven't had too many dreams as a kid that really affected me. This one did. And from what I can remember, that dream, there were bubbles. Okay, it was like somehow, and I don't know where I was in the midst of these, but there were bubbles. I don't know if they were, dishwater detergent bubbles or some reality bubbles that I was trapped within, but as a child, that was the most, I won't even say horrifying. It wasn't horrifying. It was being firmly stuck, trapped, and not able to move whatsoever, like feeling that you had maybe a body or something, but it being completely fused, no motion whatsoever, with the memory of having a body like this that, you can wiggle and stuff. And that's the most horrifying feeling ever, and somehow that was conveyed to me in the dream by bubbles. And I was young, I was like 11 or 12. And yeah, that it was also, I was pretty conscious in the midst of that dream, and I couldn't fathom what, it was all bad. There was nothing good about it. No entities, nothing like that, just this geometric structure that I was trapped in. Now, when I got older, and after I had, drank some alcohol, smoked some weed, and become less pure of mind, become a little tainted by these things. I started having big kid night terrors, and sometimes I would literally wake up as I was running down the street. Like, this is in waking, this is not dreaming. I would wake up in this reality, running down the street with my heart just going crazy, and not knowing what I was running from, but just... That happened multiple times. Or sometimes, like, I would have a night terror, I would have some sort of a horrifying dream thing, and I would feel like the household that I was in was about to be... something terrible was going to happen to it. Attacked, or earthquake, or it was going to blow up or something. So I would run out of the bedroom, and I'd go like bang on my brother's door and scare the shit out of him. And then by the time he was awake, I was awake also. So, you know, at that point, I couldn't do anything but say, you know, okay, just pretend like I didn't know what was going on, because I actually didn't know what was going on. I just knew that I was having another night terror. But lastly, okay, so I had those a few times in my early 20s. Night terrors that would end with me physically. Sometimes I would like fly out of the bed, and I landed on my knee one time really hard. I physically injured my knee that one time. Usually that doesn't happen. Normally I come to in time to not do anything bad to myself physically. But that one time I did like fly out of my bed, land on my knee, and anytime you hurt yourself within the dream state, it's much more traumatic, because your mind is in such a state of confusion as you're coming out of it, because all that actual physical pain is infiltrating and making the nightmare worse, infinitely worse, by virtue of your home body experiencing actual physical pain. So that's bad. My night terrors have graduated, so to speak, to a different level, and I also have matured a lot, and they don't affect me as much now. They affect me very little now. I have attained a very level baseline that remains unaffected by what happens, but I still have them. And one of the recurrent themes of my sort of semi-current night terrors of this age of me, 30s, early 30s, almost 32. One of the recurrent themes is I will just know in my dream that there's somebody out there, some sniper. Yes, that's even a big theme, like a guy with a sniper and all that. Or that, you know, something's gonna blow up, like my car has been laced with explosives and it's gonna blow up. That actually happened last night, now that I remember. Now that I remember it, that happened last night. I'm getting to that, but anyway, where was I with this? Yeah, so there's always some fear of physical annihilation attached to the current night terrors. And they've happened so often that once I wake up from it, like I will do the contortion things while I'm sleeping, like hide, you know, duck my head here, or you know, whatever I do, whatever I feel like I need to do in the subconscious state, I will do it. But the second I wake up and realize what's going on, I don't give a shit at all. Like, I don't care at all about whatever it is that's attacking, if it is an entity or not. I don't give it I give it nothing. Like, it is exactly what it is, and it will be dealt with how it needs to be dealt with. I don't react with fear whatsoever, except in the subconscious state. There must be some sort of primordial fear there, otherwise I wouldn't be reacting at all. But this here this is my old iPhone, I'm currently using a iPhone 7. This is a 6. I think? No, I'm using a 6. This is a 5S. I'm using a 6S. So the story of that phone is I was sleeping in the car, as I do when I'm here in San Francisco, and I'm here now. I was sleeping in the car, and I woke up. Okay, was sleeping in the car. I wake up as I'm running. Okay, I'm on the beach. I'm on a bluff overlooking the beach, parked there. So I wake up and I'm still half asleep while this is happening. So half asleep, I consciously realize that I'm running with my phone toward the beach, toward the cliff thing, and hurling my phone. Okay, right-handed, not left-handed. But hurling my phone into the ocean, or doing my best to get it into the ocean. And from the time of me opening the door and getting out and running toward the barrier, I was starting to wake up from the time that I opened the door, and I was just about fully awake as I had thrown the phone. And then, you know, a couple seconds after that, I was like, fuck, like, what the fuck am I doing? And I got really mad at myself for basically giving in to the night terror. Really, I cussed myself out for a good 10 minutes. Like, I was mad. Really, really mad. And so, the night terror, what it was I thought my phone was a bomb, basically. And that has been a really recurrent theme. I don't know where this stuff is coming from. I don't have any military background. I really don't know. But anyway, I thought my phone was a bomb. Was convinced that my phone was a bomb and that it was about to blow up. So you can understand why I'm sprinting toward the ocean trying to get rid of that sucker before it blows up. Hey, if you're convinced that's happening, that's just what you're going to do. Unless you just want to die, and then you'd sit there and wait for it to blow up. Yeah. But anyway, to continue with the story, this phone is the one I threw into the ocean. And okay, I was with Kimberly at this time. We hadn't broken up. The next morning, she called me and said that my phone, you know, somebody found it. And it didn't make it to the ocean, and it only made it to the rocks, just shy of the ocean, like just shy of the beach. It didn't make it very far at all. Apparently, like, the ocean was another couple hundred yards out. So I wasn't, maybe not a couple hundred, but I don't think I could have reached the ocean. I thought I was right next to it though. So anyway, somebody heard the phone ringing and stuff. Kim was calling in the morning, and yeah, somebody had found it, picked it up, traced the call, called that number back, I think on the phone itself. And Kim called me and told me where this person was. So I went, they like stuck it in a plastic baggie and put it in their mailbox. And then so I found out the address, and I drove like the next day and picked the phone up. Oh, okay. I was missing a link of the story. You're like, how the hell is Kim calling you? Okay, so the missing link that I haven't told you is that after I was done being incredibly pissed off that I had chucked my phone into the ocean, or tried to, I spent the next day searching out a place where I could buy another phone and continue working, or at least, you know, talk to Kim and let her know what was going on. So I did all that, and then once I had got that new phone it took me forever to find. If you ever try to find something without having a phone nowadays, you know, it's gonna be a good bit of work, because we are very lazy because of our phones. But anyway, so I got this other phone, and I think it's this one that I have now, I'm pretty sure. I think that one had to be replaced once, but under warranty. So I got the new 6S, and the 5S came back still working. It still works fine. Just, I mean, I could replace the screen. I used to fix phones, so I could do that if I wanted to, but I just wanted to keep it like that as a reminder of the potential. I mean, if a night terror can affect me to the point where it's having me do something physically, that's bad. Okay, that's not good. So it's good for me to be aware of the potential of that, of the night terror thing, because I mean, I can see what it can do, especially with the way my mind is and the way, just the way I work. I can see the potential for trouble there. For the most part, though, I'm good. I'm very solid mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and stuff doesn't affect me as it might affect others, or as it has affected me in the past. So that's a good thing. But at the same time, that subconscious shit needs to be acknowledged, and that's part of why I do holotropic breathwork. That's the whole point of those exercises, is that it digs and delves deep into your subconscious where all these fucking demons are hiding, and it applies the light to them, or it applies, you know, self-healing, or it applies the inner healer, and just resolves the knots. Like, it resolves the tension. That's the point of holotropic breathwork. And that's why I'm gonna try to keep going back every year, at least once a year, to that one spot, to Joshua Tree. It was very, very nice, very amazing. Whew. Anyway, that ran on for quite a while. 17 minutes. Night terrors. Yeah, it's a big subject. I haven't done any Google research on night terrors recently. This is just my personal story, and I don't know, I missed some of them. Lots of nights I wake up and something weird is going on. I rarely get scared of them anymore. I just wake up and I'm like, okay, well, you know, that happened, and move on, because I don't really know what else to do with it. But I feel like non-reacting is the best way to deal with those things, because you're not feeding them energy. Excuse me. Let me know, you guys, what kind of nightmares, night terrors, lucid dreaming, if you've done that. I might do a topic on lucid dreaming at some point, or out of body. Those are related and very interesting to me. But let me know if you've had, let me know about your nightmares and your night terrors, okay? Give me some comments, or make a response video. I would love that, yeah. So hope everyone's doing well, and take care. Bye.